Your grocery receipt last month, the meat section of it, that number was higher than it has ever been in your life, and it is about to get worse. Not by a little. The government's own forecast says beef and veal prices climb another 12% this year, and the squeeze peaks right around the 4th of July. Here is what nobody at the meat counter will tell you. The reason the price is climbing is not inflation. It is that there's not enough cattle in this country, and there has not been since 2016. The American cattle herd is the smallest it has been in decades. Beef production dropped 4% last year. It is dropping again this year. Less supply, same demand, and you pay the difference every single time you stand at that counter. Welcome to the Survival Research. If you're not subscribed yet, hit subscribe and the bell. This is where we dig up what the industry buried, and right now what they buried is the real reason your grocery bill is bleeding you dry. So let me show you exactly what is happening, and exactly which 12 meats you stockpile before the holiday hits and the prices spike again. There is a second reason almost nobody is talking about. Since July of last year, the border between the United States and Mexico has been closed to live cattle. A parasite called the New World screwworm started spreading north through Mexico. The Department of Agriculture shut the border to stop it. That border used to bring in over 1 million cattle a year. For this year, that number is effectively 0. So the herd was already the smallest in decades. And then one of the biggest sources of incoming cattle got cut off completely. That is not a theory. That is the math behind the number on your receipt. The processors feel it too. One of the 4 giant meat packers reported a beef division loss of over $300 million in a single quarter, more than 12 times the loss from the year before. When the people who slaughter the cattle are bleeding money, you already know who ends up paying for it. Stop for a second, because this is the part that matters. There are 12 specific cuts of meat you can buy right now before the 4th of July spike, and lock in at today's price for up to a full year. I put all of it into the complete documentation. The exact freezer life of every cut, down to the month. The 3 cuts that actually get cheaper in July while everything else climbs. The vacuum sealing method that doubles your storage window. The cheapest protein per pound in America right now that nobody is buying. And the one mistake that ruins half of all stockpiled meat before you ever cook it. Over a dozen analyses in one place, no fluff, straight to the point. The link is in the description. But stay here. The list is just getting started. So which meats do you actually stockpile? Let's start with the smartest one nobody talks about. Whole chicken. But before the list, this. If you have made it this far, you already understand the squeeze better than 99% of the people standing in line at that meat counter right now. Subscribe and share this with someone who is about to overpay for the holiday. Everything the industry will not say out loud is in the complete documentation. Link in the description. Now stay with me, because this is where the real savings hide. While beef set records, chicken stayed the cheapest protein per pound in the entire country. A whole chicken runs 40 to 50% cheaper per pound than the same weight in beef. And it freezes for up to a full year if you keep it below 0 degrees Fahrenheit. 2 whole chickens fit in about 1 cubic foot of freezer space. Buy them now before the holiday demand spikes, and you have locked in the cheapest meat in America at today's price. Second, pork shoulder. This is the cut the bulk stores treat as a giveaway, and most people walk right past it. Pork prices are forecast to rise only about 1.5% this year. Compare that to beef at 12%. Pork shoulder is fatty, which means it freezes beautifully for 4 to 6 months, and the fat protects the meat from freezer burn. Third, beef chuck roast. Here's the counterintuitive part. While ribeye and the premium steaks set records, the tougher roasts stay reasonable, and they are the best freezer performers in the entire beef category. Chuck, round, and brisket freeze for 6 to 12 months because their size and marbling protect them. Wrap them individually, keep them below 0, and you have restaurant-grade beef months from now at a price that no longer exists in the store. Fourth, ground beef, but with a warning. Ground beef is the one cut that actually goes up in July. When everyone fires up the grill for burgers, demand spikes, and so does the price. That is exactly why you buy it now. But here's the catch nobody mentions. Ground beef only holds peak quality for 3 to 4 months in the freezer, not a year. Its surface area makes it the first thing to suffer freezer burn. Press it flat in a bag, squeeze the air out, and use it first. Fifth, the premium steaks, and a piece of timing almost nobody knows. Around the 4th of July, ribeye and the premium steaks actually dip slightly in price because grillers shift their attention to burgers and brats. So the one window in the year when steak gets a little cheaper is the exact window most people ignore. Buy your ribeyes in early July, vacuum seal them, and they hold for 6 to 12 months. Sixth, turkey. Forgotten the moment Thanksgiving ends, which is exactly why it is a steal in summer. Whole turkey freezes for up to a year, and pound for pound, it is one of the cheapest large proteins you can buy outside the holiday season. Seventh, pork chops. Lean, easy to portion, and forecast to stay nearly flat in price this year while beef climbs. Wrapped properly in plastic and freezer paper, they hold 4 to 6 months. Eighth, beef brisket, the 4th of July centerpiece, which is why it spikes the week of the holiday. Buy it 3 weeks early instead. Brisket is forgiving in the freezer, holding 6 to 12 months thanks to its fat cap. Ninth, chicken thighs, cheaper than breast, more forgiving when cooked, and one of the lowest cost cuts in the entire store. They freeze 3 to 4 months at peak quality and far longer if vacuum sealed. 10th, bacon and cured pork with a hard limit. Cured meats only freeze well for 1 to 3 months because the salt in them speeds up rancidity. Buy a little, use it fast, and never treat it like a long-term store. 11th, stew meat and beef cubes. They thaw fast, they are perfect for slow cooker meals, and they cost a fraction of the premium cuts. 3 to 4 months at peak in the freezer. 12th, pork ribs, the other holiday favorite that spikes the week of the cookout. Buy them now, freeze them 4 to 6 months, and you eat them after the price has already come back down. Now let me connect all 12, because the pattern is the whole point. Every single one follows the same rule. The cut that spikes during the holiday is the one you buy weeks before. The cut everyone forgets is the one that is already cheap. And the protein nobody is panic buying, chicken and pork, is the one beating beef on price by a mile. The squeeze is real. The herd is the smallest since 2016. The border is closed. The price climbs 12% this year and keeps climbing into next year because there is no quick fix for a cattle shortage that took years to build. Let me be honest about what this is and what it is not. Freezing does not make meat last forever. Quality drops over time no matter what. Ground meat and cured pork are short-term stores, not year-long ones, and a deep freezer costs money up front. What this does is lock in today's price before the holiday spike, on the cuts that actually hold. Nothing more, nothing less. I pinned a comment with the 3 things I could not fit in this video. The exact month-by-month freezer chart for all 12 cuts. The vacuum sealing trick that doubles your window, and the cheapest protein in America right now that almost nobody is stockpiling. It is the first comment, pinned to the top. And if this changed how you see that receipt, subscribe. The next breakdown is the one the grocery chains hope you never watch, and it is coming soon. So here is the choice. You can wait, walk into the store the week of the 4th, and pay the holiday spike on top of a 12% year. Or you can fill your freezer this week at today's price, on the cuts that hold for a year. The shortage is not your fault. But paying the spike when you knew it was coming is a decision. The information was always there. Now you have it.